Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Railsplitter Athletics Report, the first full week of Lincoln Memorial University athletics for the 2012-2013 season is officially in the history books, and we will tell you all about it a little bit later on tonight. We've got a lot to talk about. Jenny Michael and the Lady Railsplitter volleyball team traveled south down to Memphis last week for the CBU Invitational. They're on the road this weekend again over in Jefferson City. We'll tell you about that. We've got, of course, soccer action from last week. Haley O'Dana and the Railsplitters still undefeated at 1-0-1. The Lady Railsplitters now 2-0. They've got big battles up and coming this week, and we certainly want to tell you about that. And a lot to tell you about in terms of Lincoln Memorial University cross country, both as a team or as teams and as individuals. We've had some more accolades that have been raked in by certain members of those teams. We've got all that and more coming up in tonight's show, along with Chris Cottrell, new first assistant for the Railsplitters. We'll tell you about that a little bit later on. Stay with us.
Cumberland Gap, Lincoln Memorial University honors the vision and spirit of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's values are perfectly in sync with the modern educational experience at LMU. Our students find personal attention is a way of life and a way to success. If Lincoln Memorial University fits your vision of college, visit our website at lmunet.edu for more information.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit the University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, internal medicine, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. The University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
Welcome back to the show. You know, last Friday afternoon, Jenny Michael and the Lady Railsplitters opened the 2012 season on the road in Memphis, Tennessee, when they traveled south to compete in the CBU Invitational hosted by Christian Brothers University. While the weekend's action was the first of the year for the LMU women, the Lady Railsplitters were no stranger to the competition as LMU faced off against familiar opponents Arkansas Tech University, the University of West Georgia, Christian Brothers University, and Ouachita Baptist University, who were all sister members of the Gulf South Conference around 5 years ago.
It was really nice and refreshing to have a chance to play some teams that still helped us in regional rankings but weren't in our immediate region. And, you know, Arkansas Tech is outstanding. They won their conference. They were undefeated in their conference last year. You know, when we were preparing and kind of told our girls, they're almost more or less the Wingate of their conference in their area. Now, granted, Wingate's been established a little bit longer, but still just their dominance in their conference thus far. And Christian Brothers was definitely a solid program as well. They've done very well, and it was really nice to see a high level of competition.
LMU opened play on Friday against Arkansas Tech and suffered its first loss of the season when the Golden Suns captured 25-20, 25-16, 23-25, and 27-25 victories to drop the Lady Railsplitters to 0-1 on the season. Later that afternoon, however, the LMU women bounced back when they knocked off former GSC Eastern Division foe West Georgia in a 3-1 win. After dropping the opening set 22-25, the Lady Railsplitters ran the table with 25-14, 25-15, and 25-22 victories to even their record at 1-1 for the weekend.
The first day we were a little nervous, and understandably we had quite a few young players seeing some action for us, and we played like it. but we have some solid senior leadership, and they were able to rally and help us pull it out in the second match there.
On Saturday, the Lady Railsplitters came out strong by winning the opening set against host Christian Brothers University 25-20. However, from there it was all Buccaneers as CBU came all the way back to post 25-15, 25-9, and 25-19 wins over LMU to put the Lady Railsplitters at 1-2 on the weekend with one match remaining. As fate would have it, the LMU women made the most of it as they once again bounced back with a hard-fought 5-set victory over Ouachita Baptist, winning 25-9, 25-18, losing 21-25 and 19-25, and winning 15-8 to improve to 2-2 on the year.
When people ask about the weekend, it was definitely one of those things as we sit back and we're looking at it, we very easily could have come back 0-4, or we could have come back 4-0. And, if we came back 0-4, we'd be telling people that, we're really not as bad as an 0-4 record says. And if we came back 4-0, we'd be telling people we're really not as good as 4-0. So the fact that we ended up 2-2, I think, is an accurate assessment of where we're at right now. We're young and we make a lot of mistakes, and that's encouraging because that means that we're in control. So if we can eliminate some of our errors, which we saw a lot of when we played Christian Brothers, after that first set, we started making a lot of mistakes. Then if we can control that, I think that we'll be doing some really good things on the floor.
This weekend, the Lady Railsplitters traveled over to Jefferson City, Tennessee for the annual Lady Eagle Classic hosted by arch rival Carson Newman College. While the Lady Eagles are the host institution, LMU's competition consists of Armstrong Atlantic State University, Lees-McRae College, Francis Marion University, and King College. LMU's first match on Friday gets underway at 11 a.m., and Jenny Michael expects a tough weekend ahead for LMU's play.
Will does a great job down there, and they have amazing athletes, and they don't just have a good 5 or 6 that they put on the floor, they have depth as well. So if somebody's not getting the job done on any given night, they have a solid bench that they can put in, and somebody's going to step in and take over and run the show. So it's going to be a very tough, very challenging match, and we're excited about it. We aren't afraid to play anybody, and we're trying to play teams that we know coming into it are better than us, and that's how we get better as a program.
Little side note to the CBU Invitational, LMU's Allison Beavers and, of course, Blair Fowler were named to the Christian Brothers University Invitational All-Tournament team. Congratulations to those two players. Turning to cross country, this past Friday, the Lincoln Memorial University cross country teams traveled to Spartanburg, South Carolina to open the 2012 season at the Eye Opener Invitational. More than 25 teams participated in the men's 8K and women's 5K race. The Railsplitters emerged 10th overall, while the LMU women placed 6th in the event to kick off the new season. Earlier this week, we caught up with LMU's cross-country coach Jeremy Donahue and got his thoughts on the weekend's performance.
Yeah, so we were pleased with the way we showed up this past Friday. On the men's side, we placed 10th out of some 25 teams, and we're happy with that. We were, I believe, the 4th out of 8 conference teams that were there. We ran strong as a pack with our top 4 runners, and then our 5th guy ran the race he needed to run for us to be successful. But we feel going forward, there's a few things we come away knowing we can work on, but know that was a good start for us. And then on the women's side, we're real happy with the 6th place finish. Just the D1 schools that were there, and then Lenore Ryan got us by a few. Other than that, we beat a lot of regional teams and conference teams, and we're glad to get that start, get the season off started that way. And then, like I say, Sophia had a good individual finish, being the 3rd non-Division I runner to finish and placing in the top 15.
This week, the LMU cross-country teams traveled north to nearby Danville, Kentucky for the Center Invitational hosted by Center College. In talking with Donahue in this week's field of competition, it will be much smaller. However, the caliber of competition is still very strong.
It'll be a smaller field this weekend, one that we had success there last year with a 2nd place finish for our women and 3rd for our men, so we look to equal or surpass that this year. Center will more than likely be the top team there. They're traditionally a strong cross-country program and have ran in the D3 Nationals the past few years, so they look to be the favorites there, and we want to challenge them a little bit better than we did last year. And then also at this race, we want to start working on a few of the things we felt we could have done better, pack up better on our women's side. We want to get our 1 through 5 split down a little bit better than it was last weekend. And then our men, we need to work on our top 4 guys, grouping up even closer than they were, and then have our 5 through 7 guys run as a pack and try and push each other to finish as high up as they can.
Incidentally, when the Lady Railsplitters begin the event this coming Saturday, Sophia Lopez-Mamendi will enter this contest as the reigning South Atlantic Conference Women's Cross Country Runner of the Week. It's the first time any South Atlantic Conference Women's Cross Country player has actually received the award, so congratulations to her. We're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk more about LMU soccer and with Chris Cottrell of the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball team right here on the Railsplitter Athletics Report.
We'll have families adopt children from around the world and in our own backyard.
I am teaching ethics to the next generation of lawyers.
I will make a difference for the underserved of this region.
I will be an advocate for my clients.
As a prosecutor, I fought for those who couldn't speak for themselves.
I'm a lawyer and professor.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I will be a lawyer.
I guess we'll take Morty.
Yes. Pick last. Ouch. A vault will put you back on top. It quenches and kicks. Incoming! Yeah! You're a super soda mercenary. Vault. Drinks like a soda, kicks like an energy drink. Get to it!
We're now MediaStream, bringing home to you more and more improvements. As your hometown team, we're dedicated to bringing our friends and neighbors more service upgrades than ever before. Always available 24/7 customer service and technical support. 30-day money-back guarantee on services. Improved bundles that will save you money. Get ready to do more of the things you love with the people you love and with savings you'll love. Call 1-800-392-2662 for details. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
You give a little love, and it all comes back to you. You're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. You give a little love, and it all comes back to you.
Welcome back to the show. Saturday also marked the beginning of the 2012 Lincoln Memorial University soccer seasons. Both the Lady Railsplitter and Railsplitter soccer teams played host to former Gulf South Conference opponent, the University of Alabama Huntsville, and both were able to capture victory. In the opening match of the afternoon, the Lady Railsplitters' Savannah Pitt got LMU on the scoreboard in the 23rd minute of the match when she used teammate Josephine Hedstrom's pass from the left wing to head a shot in from in front of the goal to give LMU a 1-0 advantage. Only minutes later, in the 29th minute, the Chargers' Tricia Earhart scored unassisted off of an LMU deflection to even the match at 1-1. After playing the remainder of the half and most of the second half through a defensive struggle, again it was Savannah Pitt that struck pay dirt in the 86th minute with help from teammate Olivia Thompson on a long pass to give LMU the 2-1 lead and the eventual win to improve to 1-0 on the year.
Anytime you open a season, you never know what you expect. You are always concerned about if the pieces will gel, especially with that many new players that we have in the women's side. But I'm pleased with the way they played. Between you and I in the door, I'm pleased that the game stayed in a stage in which it was never under control completely. You know, that kept everybody working hard, and it took away that sense of I don't want that this early in the year them feeling better than they should. I don't know if you can grasp what I'm saying, but it was a tough game, no doubt about. But I think if you look at the numbers, we outshot them big, we outpossessed them big, and we really out-hustled them big. And I'm happy with all those things. And
on Tuesday afternoon, the Lady Railsplitters played host to regional opponent, the University of South Carolina Aiken, at home on the LMU soccer field. And for the second time in as many outings, the Lady Railsplitters emerged victorious, recording a 2-0 shutout of the Pacers to improve to 2-0 on the year. Nicole McKinney and Rachel Vannose scored the goals for the Lady Railsplitters. McKinney's goal came in the 61st minute of the match to give the LMU women a 1-0 advantage and was assisted by teammate Olivia Thompson, while Vano's goal was unassisted in the 63rd minute on a deadly strike from 35 yards out. This week's 2 victories give the LMU women a lot of confidence going into Friday's home match with national powerhouse Columbus State University at 5 p.m.
Women are in for a rude awakening. Columbus State, as is at this point, are number 2 in our region, 11 in the country. Established program have been consistently making late in the national tournament to maybe quarterfinals or even Final Four in the past few years. So that would be a heat check right there. But you know, the beauty of our ladies is that we're young and they don't know better. You know, I'm not even going to make it a big deal for them as far as the magnitude of the game, I guess. But that's the thing about freshmen. They might just completely feel relaxed and putting a great game. And if we beat this team, who knows where we're going to end up, because they're legitimately the best team we're going to play the whole year.
The Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer team also picked up a big win on Saturday when they hosted and defeated the Chargers of the University of Alabama Huntsville. The victory over UAH marks the 5th consecutive time the Railsplitters have defeated the Chargers, dating back to 2004. In Saturday's latest chapter, senior midfielder Chris Nash got the Railsplitters on the scoreboard in the 18th minute off of a throw-in by teammate Tony Garibaldi. A little more than 2 minutes later, the Railsplitters struck the deciding blow when Diego Deschamps scored unassisted in the 19th minute from in front of the goal to give LMU a commanding 2-0 lead. Although UAH scored a goal in the 83rd minute to save some face, the LMU defensive effort throughout much of the contest proved to be as dominant as the offense did in the first 20 minutes of the match, and LMU head coach Helly O'Dana was pleased with his team's effort.
I didn't realize it was 5 in a row. I'll be honest with you. It felt like it was a much closer series, but at least the last 3 or 4 ones that I remember were always tough one. I mean, last year it was overtime. But they're the kind of team that will never quit. They're the kind of team that, you know, you're in for 90 minutes, unless fair and square you open the door as far as many goals, which we could have. We had a lot of chances, but we missed a lot of goals. But you mentioned Nash. Nash is a special player for us. Actually, our midfielder is very special. Everybody always wants to compare, you know, how are you in comparison to the glory days, so to speak, and you know, I don't want to do that, but I can tell you when I say a midfield is special, you know that I can back it up, and this is a very, very special midfield, and when they click, you know, sometimes in practice, no, Adriano, my assistant, and I sort of take a step back and just you know, enjoy it. It's like we used to do in those glory days, and so we saw flashes of that. I mean, the first 18 minutes that we played, we're up 2-0, and it was, I guarantee you, it was scary for the other side, you know. And when we do that consistently, we're going to be very, very good this year.
Tuesday afternoon, the Railsplitters again hit the field to take on provisional Gulf South Conference member Union University of Jackson, Tennessee. Although the Railsplitters showed a great deal of dominance on Saturday against the University of Alabama Huntsville, both offensively and defensively, Tuesday's match with Union University proved to be equally as frustrating, as LMU was held to only 5 shots on goal while the Bulldogs were able to generate 4. Ultimately, the match went 110 minutes and ended in a 0-0 tie, while moving the Railsplitters to 1-0-1 on the year. And the preparation for this Saturday's Peach Belt Conference match against regional opponent University of Montevallo will be a tough prepare for that match.
Oh, wow, that's a great result. That's not a bad result at all. This is a very good team. A regional game, this team is going to beat a lot of people. I'm talking about Union University. And these regional games, what you don't want is lose, you know. But on their case, it was a safe match from the standpoint that we know that they're good. They had already beat a GSC team the week before, and they will beat a lot of people. And so this is a team that if we lost to them, our strength of schedule would be good. But they will not compete to a spot against us in the region, because the way that our region works, they count as a regional game, but they're in reality in the south, and we're in the southeast when it comes to the postseason. So it was a good result. No, don't get me wrong. I do not take it lightly.
The Lady Railsplitters host Columbus State at 5 p.m. on Friday. The Railsplitters play on the road in Montevallo on Saturday. Those games obviously not broadcast, but best of luck to both teams. Last week, the Lincoln Memorial University men's basketball program got a shock when Lance Egnance announced that he was going to leave the program as assistant coach to go to University of Tennessee Martin as the top assistant and recruiting coordinator. His loss was another man's gain. Chris Cottrell, one of the assistants for the Railsplitter men's basketball team, was moved up into the top assistant position, and he joins us now in studio. Coach, first of all, congratulations on a great year last year, but now individually, congratulations on moving up in the ranks.
Thank you. Very excited.
You've been with Coach Egnance and Coach Schertz since Coach Schertz came to the LMU program. Over the last 4 years or so, what has Coach Egnance brought to the table for this LMU basketball team?
First and foremost, Lance was a great recruiter. Got a lot of guys on our radar that a lot of other programs didn't know about. A lot of guys like Vinny Bailey, Tim Pierce, you guys are going to see this year is going to be very good for us. Lorenzo Ross, C.J. Wakely. Lance did a great job of getting players interested in Lincoln Memorial, evaluating their talent, what they brought to the table, and getting them on campus.
So with his departure, obviously your roles with the Railsplitter men's basketball program changed somewhat. I mean, you're still very familiar with the daily goings-on, but now you've got some different responsibilities. What will those be?
We're going to take up more recruiting responsibilities, which is a fantastic challenge, helps me individually, and I think it'll help our program. And then also be doing a lot more in terms of the day-to-day operations that Coach Schertz, still has me do, but take some more things off his table in terms of NCAA stuff, scholarship stuff, what I can do to help him out even more.
Does this put added or additional pressure on you as a coach to produce from now a recruiting standpoint and maybe maintain some of the duties that you've had over the last 4 years?
Absolutely. I think obviously there's always pressure from the outside to perform at a high level, especially with our program and the way we've got it going right now. But the pressure that you face internally, I'm always putting pressure on myself, and I think this is a good way to continue to challenge myself and challenge, our program to get better every day.
Now, when you came here several years ago, when Coach Schertz took over the helm of the LMU men's basketball program, you were no stranger to his type of coaching and what he expected.
Yeah, this will be my 10th year assisting Josh, and that goes back 5 years at High Point University. This will be our 5th year here. I know pretty much what his expectations are, and that's to give a great effort every day in everything that we come to face.
Now, obviously, the NCAA prohibits your team from practicing right now as a team collectively, but that practice schedule is not that far away. What can we expect from the returning players for the 2012-2013 season? And tell us a little bit about some of the newcomers.
Well, I think what you're going to see is kind of like every year we've been here, the foundation of our program has been the returning players, guys that come in as really good high school players and develop over time and wait their turn. You're going to see guys come in and have really good, I think, senior years like Cam Carden, Wally Jones, Jake Troyley, guys who have been in the program, Dustin Craig, Jerosi Simpson, who've been here for more than 1, 2, 3 years, have served their time, paid their dues. And you're also going to see a lot of talent in our classes coming in, the sophomore class especially, with C.J. Wakely, Lorenzo Ross, the freshman class has Tim Pierce, Curtis McMillian, and then guys that have waited their turn and played behind all-conference players like Vinny Bailey, who was all-conference last year, but still had to play behind Desmond Johnson, who was playing behind DeMario Curry. I think Vinny's going to have a breakout year. I think Chance Jones have a breakout year. We're looking at a roster that could go 12 deep on any given night.
A couple of years ago, we were looking at the beginning of last season, we were looking at people making the question out, what are we going to do without DeMario Curry? What are we going to do without Darryl Garrett? Last year, you lose 4 very key seniors, and obviously that's got to be a concern, but how can guys ever step up if they're not given the opportunity? And here's the case.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity for, we talked about myself being able to move up, and now guys that were juniors last year will be able to move up. Troyley and Vinny Bailey moving from a sophomore to a junior this year. I think guys will have opportunities to play more minutes. When you play more minutes, guys like Keenan Peterson, who was good in about 8 minutes a game, he'll be even better in about 14 to 16 minutes a game. I think guys like Jerosi Simpson have the opportunity to move up and earn more playing time, and as they do that, they'll produce even more.
Now, we've got less than a minute to go, but Coach, you're not the only one that got the opportunity to move up with the departure of Lance Egnatz. Of course, Cameron Wicker moves up into an assistant position, and I understand we have a new GA as well.
We do. Cam's going to do a great job. He was our graduate assistant last year. Tony Martin, who was a senior for us last year, I think played in every game. He'll be our graduate assistant this year. Coach Schertz would not have made these moves if he didn't think that we could coach and recruit at a national championship level. So I'm pretty fired up.
Coach, we're looking forward to the upcoming basketball season, and we want to wish you the best of luck in your new endeavors here at LMU, and best of luck to the Railsplitters in the upcoming season.
Thank you, Rusty.
All right. There you have it. Chris Cottrell, new assistant coach. We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back.
Sigmund Communications is your local radio and television stations bringing your local information, local news, and the best music from yesterday and today. Sigmund Communications was established in 1987 on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University. Since then, we have been involved in community events and other projects. Sigmund Communications is not only your local radio and television stations, but we are a learning facility aimed at educating students in the field of broadcast communications. Sigmund Communications, not just the great building with satellites that sits on the hill.
Spending too much money in your household budget? Want to reduce your expenses and save money? We're MediaStream, and we're bringing it home to you. Call us now for a free review of your MediaStream account to see how we can save you money. We have many improved options for TV, internet, local and long-distance phone that can reduce your monthly expenses. To see how much money MediaStream can save you, call today. 1-800-392-2662. That's 1-800-392-2662. MediaStream, bringing it home to you.
Bringing it home to you.
History comes alive at the Abraham Lincoln Library and Museum on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University in Harrogate, Tennessee. Located 60 miles north of Knoxville and 5 minutes from the entrance of Cumberland Gap National Historic Park, the museum is home of one of the largest privately held Lincoln collections in the country.
A place to learn and play. My museum includes interactive exhibits as well as special events and educational programs. For more information, go to www.lmunet.edu.
And again, welcome back. You know, as we are in the midst of the fall athletic season, the new fall schedule cards are out here on the LMU campus. And if you'd like to obtain a copy of those, you can contact the LMU Sports Information Office. There you see them. Very nice. That includes volleyball, cross country, women's and men's soccer, and they are absolutely free. Let me flip it over for you there, and you can check it out. That is got all the schedules on there, and they'd be more than happy to give you a couple of those if you like. Their number 423-869-6236 or 423-869-6376. It's really about all the time we have for tonight. Again, for those of you keeping up to date, LMU soccer team, women's soccer team in action on Saturday at home. They'll take on Columbus State, men on the road on Saturday at Montevallo. Next week, they both travel to King on Wednesday. For the Lady Railsplitters, they're in Jefferson City this week. The Lady Eagle Invitational, cross-country team in Danville, Kentucky for the Center Invitational. For everybody behind the scenes of the Railsplitter Athletics Report, I'm Rusty Peace. Good night.